Now look, today we've got a major story making headlines. I'm talking about one that mixes international politics, the war on drugs, and a whole lot of controversy. The U.S. Navy just carried out a precision strike on a suspected drug vessel coming from Venezuela. Now, officials say that the target was tied to a powerful criminal organization. But here's the catch. This move is already sparking debates about legality, politics, and what this could mean for U.S. and Venezuelan relations going forward. Look, y'all sit back and relax and stay until the end of this episode because we about to dive right in. Welcome back to another episode of Eyes Low, Belly Full. As y'all know, this marks episode 136. Now, according to U.S. officials, a Navy ship in the Caribbean Sea launched a targeted strike on a boat believed to be carrying narcotics. The boat reportedly belonged to members of the Tren de Aragua gang, which Washington has labeled a narco-terrorist organization. So Trump wasted no time announcing a strike, even showing a video clip that appeared to show the boat exploding.
Tonight, the White House releasing this dramatic video of the U.S. blowing up a boat in the southern Caribbean. President Trump says it was carrying drugs from Venezuela and that the strike killed 11 members of the notorious gang Tren de Aragua, or TDA.
We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And these came out of Venezuela. We took it out.
Now, 11 people on board that boat was unalived. And the U.S. say that they was members of that gang. So from a military perspective, this was framed as a clean operation. Swift, decisive, and meant to send a message. And this shit isn't coming out of nowhere. The U.S. already had boosted its military presence in the Caribbean, sending in multiple warships and nuclear-powered submarines. And that move raised eyebrows at the time. And this strike shows that buildup wasn't for show. And it's all a broader campaign against Venezuela's government and criminal groups operating in the region. I mean, just recently, the U.S. put a $50 million bounty on the Venezuelan president's head. I believe his name is Nicolas Maduro. So this strike already adds another layer to an already tense situation.
Last month, the Pentagon deployed 3 guided missile destroyers to international waters near Venezuela after President Trump designated several drug cartels, as well as TDA, foreign terrorist organizations. The U.S. did pull off a large-scale prisoner swap with Venezuela this summer. Now tensions with Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro are rapidly escalating.
The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel.
Tonight, the president saying no U.S. forces were hurt in the strike. Maduro has claimed that the U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean is aimed at overthrowing his government, and he's deployed troops along his borders. Tonight, a senior White House official is downplaying any possibility of the U.S. invading Venezuela, but says the president will use any means necessary to tackle drug cartels. Tom?
All right. Now, here's where things get complicated. Normally, drug interdictions involve seizing ships and arresting suspects. But this time, the U.S. went with lethal force. And you already know, critics are asking, why not capture the vessel and present evidence in court? Was blowing it up on international waters the only option? I don't know, but I know the Venezuelan government is calling the footage into question, even suggesting that it might just be AI generated. I mean, some international observers are labeling this as gunboat diplomacy, like using military force to make a political point instead of just stopping drugs. And that raises some serious legal and ethical questions. Was this strike proportionate? Did the U.S. have the authority to act this way? Or was this just a warning to Venezuela and other groups in the region?
So Trump, in his undeadness, is claiming that he sent a militarized strike to a vessel in the middle of international water, unaliving 11 people, which he claims were on their way to the U.S. with illegalities. For anyone who doesn't understand what that means, that action right there is a declaration of war. And you do not have to be an expert on international waters. I'm just going to let you know that is illegal. That boat, that vessel was not near or on U.S. shores. There is no single global police force when it comes to international waters. So if a vessel or a boat is in the middle of international waters and they're not actually on your shore or on your waters, you cannot singularly police that vessel. And the United States just did. A Venezuelan vessel. And do you all know who Venezuela's allies are? China, Russia, Iran, Cuba. And let's be very clear, this isn't about any illegalities that they're bringing to the United States or about any gang. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the entirety of the globe. Yeah.
Now, this could be the start of a new chapter in the so-called war on drugs. Instead of Coast Guard and law enforcement interdictions, we're seeing full-on military strikes. And if this becomes the new normal, it can escalate tensions, not with just Venezuela, with Latin America in general. And this also sets like a eye for an eye situation. Like if the US feels like they could take out suspected drug traffickers with military force, other countries might feel justified in doing the same. And that opens up a new can of worms in international law. Now, I want to hear what y'all think about this situation. Should the US be using military strikes in the war on drugs, or does that cross a line? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And if this video resonated with you, go ahead and hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up and also subscribe and hit that bell notification for more episodes. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.